this is The Troy Show, and I am Troy O'Donohoe. I am your host. I'll be your host for today. It is The Troy Show, and this is the only Troy that I could find in such short notice. So it's me. Welcome to it. Welcome to the program. So I had my bi-yearly trip to Hendersonville, Tennessee, my home city of Hendersonville, and I tell you, it's always a little bit weird going back because, first of all, it's where I lived my life. A great majority of my life was living in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And so when I'm there, first of all, I love seeing how things are different. I love going down Gallatin Road. That's kind of the main strip in the city, and looking at and seeing just how everything's different. There's not a whole lot that's the same from when I was there. There's still the bowling alley that me and my buddy Lane would walk to with our quarters and play video games there. That is still there. The McDonald's is still there. There's still a lot of places that are there, but when I'm there, it's a bittersweet experience. Because I love the city. I love it. It's my life. My life is back in Hendersonville. I love where I am now in Georgia, but my life is in Hendersonville. And so whenever I'm there, it's a little bit bittersweet because all the memories of all of the wonderful things, all the wonderful experiences I had growing up, hanging out with my friends, spending unknown hours, quantities of hours at the local Crystal. My body can't handle crystals now, but I tell you what, we spent an obscene amount of hours late into the evening at Crystals with my buddies. And it was great. It was great. But that's the sweet part. The bitter part is the mistakes I've made in my past, the things that I did that were stupid, regrets that I've had. All of those things reside back in Hendersonville. So it's just always a bittersweet thing going there, and I'm convinced someday I'm probably going to move back there. But I don't know. My wife says I have to stay with her. And so I will, because I love my wife and I like living with her, and because she makes me cereal in the morning. And so if she doesn't make my cereal, who's going to make it? I can't get my baby out of bed. He can hardly get out of the crib by himself. He can't. And so what am I going to do? Am I going to wait for him to get out of bed and make my cereal, or my oldest daughter, or my other son? Am I going to do that? They can't even pour the milk. It's all over the floor if they do. So I guess I will continue living the way that I am. I will... in fact, my wife doesn't make my cereal. I make my cereal. Because that's what grown-ups do. They make their own cereal. So, my life is in Hendersonville. My regrets are in Hendersonville. My great memories are in Hendersonville. And I love being there, and I hate being there. It's a very strange experience. And I'm always afraid to go to Walmart for some reason, because no, not because of the conspiracies, but because I'm afraid that I'm going to run into the cool kids from high school. They always intimidated me. In fact, let's see if we can get a hold of Trey. We're going to do our segment, the Ask Trey Anything segment. And speaking of Walmart, we're just going to see. We're going to check and see if there is an update to that story.
Hello.
Is this Trey O'Donohoe?
Yes, it is.
Trey, this is Troy O'Donohoe. We are live currently on air on the Troy Show, and I am calling to do this evening's everybody's favorite segment, the Ask Trey Anything segment. And
well, here's the problem. I'm a little bit busy watching the Tampa Bay Lightning, so I don't really have time for your little radio program today.
You don't have time for the Ask Trey Anything segment?
Well,
I
just paused it. So, what can I do for you this evening?
Well, a lot of people are requesting, and by a lot of people, I simply mean just me, really.
Okay.
I'm wanting to know has there been an update with the Walmart situation?
It's funny you should say that, because actually the other night I went up there, Saturday night as a matter of fact, because, I'm a man of the people, and, the people need answers, and I'm the guy to get the answers for them. So I decided about 3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, that I was going to go up there and I was going to demand answers. Because the people, they want answers. So I went up there.
Yes.
And I pulled into the parking lot. Of course, the parking lot was empty.
Right.
And the first thing I noticed was that there has been some barricades put up.
Now this is new, right? The barricades weren't there last time you were there.
No, they were not there the last time I was there. So that's the first thing I noticed, were the barricades. Now, when I say barricades, I'm talking probably 10-foot high walls, some extra fencing that was not there before. Obviously, something's being hidden.
Right.
So that's the first thing I noticed. And then I drove to the front of the building and I looked through the front door, and I noticed that some steel doors have been installed in the section right where you first walk in. If you can imagine walking through the sliding glass doors, you walk in, and probably about 5 feet from the entrance are now some steel barricade-type doors. I think the obvious question is, why do they need steel doors? To keep prisoners from breaking out of a concentration camp? I don't know. I mean,
well,
are they worried about somebody breaking in and stealing some bread?
Right.
So they're putting up steel doors? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. There's something very peculiar about that.
Well, let me ask you this: Do you think that because the last time we spoke, you had talked about the undesirables, that it was going to be the undesirables who would be residing in these Walmarts? So, do you believe that there are prisoners, undesirables, currently held in the Walmart?
I think that they're. I don't know if that's true or not. Now, what I have heard are that there are underground tunnels that are running underneath the Walmart. So, I mean, I guess the question would be how people are watching the Walmart. I mean, if you look on YouTube, if you get on the YouTube machine and you put in there Brandon Walmart, I mean, people are watching it. So, how are you going to escort prisoners in and out of there without people knowing? Well, the obvious answer is you take them to the Denver airport and then you march them through the underground tunnels to the Walmart. So there very well could be some prisoners in there, and they may be escorting them through the wide range of underground tunnels that they have running underneath the Walmart. So I mean, it's a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, so you haven't interviewed any of the guards. The last time we spoke, there were some guards there, and I kindly asked if you would take some video of this, but you have refused to do this, and I think you've refused to do this because of the fear you might have of being caught or captured or of having it known that you were the one who took the video. So have you taken any video, first of all, or have you just outright refused to do this for the Troy Show audience? And if so, why?
Well, let me stress the fact that, for the people that don't know me, which I can't imagine that, the 2 or 3 listeners that you have, they don't know me. I mean, because let's be honest, it's all family that listens to this anyway.
Right.
So
yes.
they all know me. But
right.
Everybody's well aware of the fact that nothing scares me.
Right.
So it's not fear. The problem that I have to deal with is, as your 2 or 3 listeners know, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
So, I have to think in terms of what's in her best interest. And, the last time I spoke about this, not on your radio show, but the last time I spoke in public about this, I ended up with a nail in my tire.
Right.
So I'm not saying that I'm scared, but what's the next step from there? I mean, they put a nail in my tire. Where do we go from there? Are they going to, I don't know. Or I mean, what else are they capable of doing? So it's not that I'm scared. It's just that, I have the well-being of my daughter to think about. So, but I would like to, you didn't let me finish what I was saying earlier.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, you're actually very rude whenever you interview people because you cut them off and you don't really let them finish what they're saying. Just a little side note that you may want to work on as a quote-unquote broadcaster or
okay.
whatever you would consider yourself.
Okay.
But, yeah, as a matter of fact...
let me ask you this. One thing that... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm assuming that was an attempt as a joke, correct?
No, that was that was.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you think that was funny at all when you did that?
I do believe there was a little bit of humor to that. Yes, I did.
To who? To yourself?
Well, mainly.
Do you think that your listeners want to listen to you continuously interrupt me and then interrupt me to be funny, or do you think that they want to listen to to the story that I have to tell?
I think, you know what, I'm going to backtrack here, and I'm going to say you probably are correct. I think they do want to hear your story.
Listen, let me paint a picture for you.
Okay.
I'm actually laying on my couch.
Yeah.
I've got 3 pillows that I have my legs propped up on. I have a plate full of sausage. It is jalapeno and cheddar sausage. And I have 2 Diet Cokes sitting next to me, caffeine free, of course.
Right.
Because I really had intentions of just relaxing and watching the Tampa Bay Lightning win Game 3 of the Stanley Cup.
Sure.
So, I'm willing to take a couple of minutes to speak to you, but you're going to have to be a little bit more considerate of my time.
Okay. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Absolutely. So, anyways, as I mentioned, it seems like a week ago at the beginning of this conversation that I went up there demanding answers. I did indeed pull right up next to the. After I looked in and saw the steel doors, I did think to myself, you know what, I need to find out what's going on. So, I saw the security car. It was parked in a parking spot in the middle of the parking lot. It was running. It had the little police light flashing. So I thought, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to go and I'm going to demand answers. So I pulled up next to the car. And I looked in the car, and the first thing I noticed, obviously, was that there wasn't anybody in the car. It was just sitting there running with the police light on. I thought, that is really, really peculiar. But then I kind of rolled down my window and kind of leaned up a little bit and noticed that the security guard was actually leaned back, and he was what I would have to assume deceased in the vehicle.
Wait a minute. There was a dead police officer in the car?
Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so I would assume that he was either sleeping or he was deceased.
Right.
I mean, obviously, the rational thing to think is that he's probably deceased.
Right. So I mean, did you find out?
No. At that point, I left because I don't want anything to do with any dead security guards. So I did leave. I did notice that as I was driving through the parking lot, that a police car did come pulling in there. And at that point, I just left. I went home.
Now wait a minute. What do you have a theory as to why a police officer? Because they're working for the government here. I mean, these are all the same team. Why why would he be killed? What would he have done to be killed off?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Why does anything happen? I mean, you're talking about they're working together as a team. Well, you know what? There was a time where I thought that, you know what? Hey, U.S. government's on my team. I don't know. They're never going to put me in a prisoner camp. I don't know. I mean, you know what? Hey, things happen. Maybe he knew too much. You know, maybe he saw something he shouldn't have seen. You know,
like what? What do you think he could have seen?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I mean, you know, maybe he just saw something that he shouldn't have seen, or maybe he was taking a nap. I can't say. I mean, you know, I was tempted to knock on the window, but then I thought, you know, it's Saturday night, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm a little bit tired. Do I really want to get shot and go to the hospital? And, you know, it's a headache. I don't know if you've ever been shot before, but
no.
It's a headache. So it's not necessarily something that I want to do on a Saturday night. So I decided not to do that. So, you know, obviously he was dead, but he could have been sleeping. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Now, have you been shot?
I was shot with a BB gun years ago.
Okay. All right. So it might not be equivalent to the bullet then.
Have you ever been shot with a BB gun?
Yes, in my face I have, yes. Right underneath my eye.
Well, then you know.
Okay.
Very painful.
Okay, well, okay, we have a few more minutes left, and so I know the people want to know also on a different subject, since this is the Ask Trey Anything segment. What are your thoughts right now on this Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner thing?
Look, to be honest with you, I don't give a damn. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. If he wants to dress up like a girl, let him dress up like a girl. It doesn't affect my life whatsoever. You know, and there are people who are outraged by this, and they want to take the gold medals, and look, who cares? Who cares? You know what? In my personal opinion, if you don't like the fact that he's doing this, ignore it. Usually when you ignore stuff, it goes away. Don't talk about it. Who honestly, does it affect you? I mean, look, you're a Christian, correct?
Yes.
I understand that you talk about Christian subjects on your podcast. Is that correct as well?
That is correct. Yes.
So you believe that there's a heaven and there's a hell and all that stuff, correct?
Yes, I do. Correct.
And you believe that you've got to know Jesus and you've got to live your life a certain way in order to walk through those gates, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Is Bruce Jenner, is that going to keep you from meeting JC and high-fiving him and, you know, maybe slapping him on the butt a little bit and saying, hey, good job? And, like, is that going to keep you from doing that?
No. I mean, the only reason I ask about it is because it is a subject that is out there, and it's fascinating to me because I agree with you. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I think it's something. I think that just like all of humanity, that he has some issues deep down inside of him that he is trying to fix somehow. And he thought that the way he could fix whatever is broken inside of him is to completely change who he is, to become a woman. And I recently heard a story where he was quoted as saying the moment he saw himself after the surgery, he said to himself, what have I done? Because it's a huge change. It's a huge change.
I would imagine so, yes.
And so, I don't think that this thing affects him whatsoever as far as affecting his soul. I don't think it has a big deal on humanity. My concern is that he has some issues inside of him that he's trying to fix that he can't fix. And so I just wanted to get your opinion on that because, I just think that, a lot of people have it wrong. I agree with you that it's not a huge deal. People are very angry about this for some reason, and I can't figure out why they're angry. Why do you think people are so angry about this?
Well, it's polarizing. It's something that is foreign. It's something that is strange. It's something that most people are not used to, and it's just. I don't know if they don't have anything better to do, but I mean, it's just something that is, it's weird. It's weird. I think we can all agree that it's strange and it's weird and it's not normal. And some people are, they can't handle stuff that's outside of the world that they live in, and that's fine. But the reality of the situation is it doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect me. I'll tell you what my concern is. My concern is I don't have a concern. It doesn't matter. I don't think about it. I didn't watch the Bruce Jenner interview because you know what? I don't care. I don't care about any of that stuff. It doesn't affect me. And nobody else should care either. But you know what? People do, and that's just the way it is.
Well, why do you think they care so much?
I don't know. It's hard for me to answer a question like that because I don't live in that world. I'm not. I don't want to say closed-minded, but if it doesn't affect me, I just don't really care.
Right.
So it's you've asked me twice why do people get so upset about it, and I don't know. I can't relate. The only thing I can think of is that to them it's weird, it's strange, and they can't handle it.
Well, Trey, we are coming to the last few moments of this.
Thank God. I'm trying to watch the hockey game. Hello?
I mean, you can pause it, right? Do you have that fancy TiVo thing?
I do.
Okay, then it's going to be fine. In fact, what I've done is I've done a favor for you, because now you can skip over the commercials, and you don't have to be.
Here's the deal.
No, wait a minute. You don't have to be bothered by all the commercials.
Well, what you don't understand is that I already TiVo'd it. I started about 45 minutes late, so I can fast forward through the commercial. So in reality, you didn't do me any favors. In reality, you're keeping me up past my bedtime.
Well, I mean, what time is your bedtime?
I like to get to bed probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
You know,
I understand.
Pretty busy and important guy. So
yeah,
I've got a world I got to save. Every Monday through Friday. So
right. What do you do? What do you do when you're not saving the world?
Oh man, I'll tell you, where do I even begin? A little bit of Xbox, Netflix.
Yeah.
Little playing a little bit of guitar.
Yeah.
A lot of push-ups.
Yeah.
Jogging.
Now you know that I ran 6.2 miles today, correct? Did you see that I posted that on Facebook today?
Yeah, I don't really keep up with what all's going on Facebook, to be honest with you. I mean, look, honestly, man, I am concerned with what's going on in my world. So, I mean, I apologize. I did not see your Facebook posting because I wasn't really looking.
No, wait a minute. Do you not see? I just assumed that most people circle their lives around kind of what I'm doing. Are you? So this isn't true. You don't focus primarily on what I'm doing from day to day?
Listen, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told my friend Rick Patton.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, Rick Patton is a friend of mine. He is a musician. And he is currently on tour with a couple different bands. I think one of them is like Trick Pony, and another one is like some guy who won some contest on like American Idol or something. I don't know. But anyways, he plays all over the place, and I've noticed about three, and I hope he listens to this because he's a jerk. But I noticed about 3 months ago in my little Facebook feed that he had played in a city in Florida that's about an hour from me. Now I used to consider this guy to be my friend. So I sent him an email and I said, "Hey, Rick, why are you playing an hour from me and you didn't even let me know? That makes you a jerk."
Right. And
his response to me was, "I apologize. I'll let you know next time I'm playing in the area." And my response was, "Rick, as your friend, I appreciate that."
Yeah.
About a month later, he did exactly that. He played about an hour from me again. He sent me a text message. He called me. And unfortunately, I couldn't make it because it was an hour and a half away and I had some work stuff I had to do. So, I get on Facebook, I think it was May the 27th, and I saw on Facebook again where Rick was posting pictures of himself the day before in Tampa, where him and the American Idol guy played a show at this place called Spurs that is 15 minutes from where I live. He didn't even say anything to me. So I sent him a message. I said, "Rick, why did you not let me know that you were playing a show literally 15 minutes from me?"
What did the jerk say?
He said, "Well, you mean you didn't check my Facebook page? You didn't check my music page? It's all over my pages." And I want to look, the reason I'm telling you this story is because the response I gave to him is practically the same response I'm going to give. I told him, I said, Rick, listen, what you have to understand is I don't wake up every day and look at Rick's Facebook page. I don't wake up every day and look at Rick's music page. As a matter of fact, I've never looked at your page before.
Right.
Okay? What you have to understand, and this is what I told him, what you have to understand is when people come to see your band in concert, they're not coming to see you. They're coming to see the guy from American Idol. They're coming to see Trick Pony. They're not coming to see Rick Patton.
Okay.
You're the keyboard player, Rick. You're not a big star.
Okay, now
you have to understand.
Hold on. I get that. Let's calm down with Rick.
So how does that relate to you? Is what you're going to ask me, correct?
Well, yeah. I want to know. Like, am I just the keyboarder? What am I here? Am I a chopped liver?
You're the keyboard player.
To who?
To me. I am the rock star. I am the guys from American Idol.
You are
People come to your show to listen to you. To me, I mean.
So they tune in hoping to get this segment.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, they got the segment, and I hope that they're all happy. Because
look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care if they're happy or not. It doesn't matter to me because you know what?
What?
I haven't gotten one email. Yeah. I haven't seen one comment from any of these people saying, "Hey,
no,
Trey, you're wrong about the Walmart thing," or "Hey, Trey, you're right," or "Hey, Trey, I checked out your Facebook page. You're incredibly handsome."
Right.
Nothing from these people.
Right.
You know what? I don't care.
No, I have had.
Listen, I don't care what they think. Right now, they're taking me away from watching the hockey game, eating my sausage, and drinking my Diet Coke that has no caffeine in it. Okay. That's what's going on right now.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter to me.
All right. Let's bring it down a level. Let's bring it down here. Okay. So I understand, and so we'll end it right there. So I will try to have again, because since I am the keyboardist to the Trey Show, I will try to have the Ask Trey Anything segment again, and and hopefully we can have a cordial and maybe not talk about Rick so much, because I think there are some issues here with Rick that we need to talk about. Maybe we can get him on the show too, and we can have this out.
Well, as of right now, Rick, and you know what? Let's get left to everybody who's friends with me on Facebook, which I can imagine none of my Facebook friends listen to this. But Rick is banned from our friendship right now. I deleted him as a friend on Facebook, and I sent him a message. Told him, hey, you're banned until you prove to me that you're a good friend. You're banned.
Right.
And you know what? As the kids say, that's what's up.
Okay, well, thank you, Trey, for this wonderful segment. We are way over, and I think that's fine, because I now know what we will ask you about next time. We need to find out if there will be any resolution to this friendship, because it sounds like it's very important, and hopefully we can get this resolved. So, Trey, do you have...
You know what? I honestly, I don't know if I even want to talk to Rick right now, to be honest with you. But listen, here's what I have to say to end this, okay?
Yeah.
Don't ever call me without giving me a heads up first, because I could be in the middle of something. I could have my kid with me. You know, I appreciate a little bit of a heads up, so I can be a little bit more prepared next time.
Right, and you could have just said no. You could have said, no, I can't do this. That is how grown-ups handle these kind of situations.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're the keyboard player. I'm the lead singer. I've got to give the people what they want.
Okay. All right, Trey. Thank you so much for being on the show once more, and we will give you. I will honor that, and I'll give you a heads up next time. And so, for everybody, all three of you who are listening right now, thank you for listening. Download the show. Go to Facebook.com/TheTroyShow. Rick, if you're listening, go to 707-874-TROY and leave a voicemail. Maybe we can get you and Trey back together again.
Rick, P-A-T-I-N, if you want to send him a message on the Facebook, tell him how terrible his music is. That would be great.
Okay. All right. Well, until we meet again.
This is the Troy